All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Chris Crenshaw, and we are live from the 704 once again for episode 211 of the 815 exchange. And well, UFC 305 has come and gone, and boy, oh boy, do we have stuff to talk about there. Of course, that's going to kick us off. We do have the MLB going on right now. Just a few things with, some of the superstars of the world doing their thing. WNBA season is back as we are post-Olympics. That's also what I just finished watching. So yeah, that'll be fresh on my mind. That's going to be in the roundup alongside college football being 1 week away, NFL preseason, and a whole lot more. And of course, we have some stuff to discuss in entertainment. But I will say this should be one of the shorter episodes. Should be a shorter episode. But, of course, as y'all know, football season is coming. So back to some of those long, get your snack, get your drink, settle in, because it might be, we're going to have some length on them again. But for at least one last time, call this the end of summer episode, all right? The end of summer here at 211. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, as always, remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you guys are enjoying the content, they're going crazy on the reaction, so super duper appreciative. But yeah, remember to like, share, and subscribe if you guys enjoy the content. And as always, everything you're looking for can be found in my description. Timestamps in my description. Social media links in my description. Also in the outro. And of course, timestamps as always are embedded into the video. Long form content. Listen, feel free to skip ahead to whatever you came here for if you can't watch the full thing. So yeah, y'all know the drill, but let's get straight to it, all right? UFC, all right? UFC 305. It was the Aussie card in Perth. And, even though I called it, even though I said this was going to happen, even though I picked DDP, if you've been around the channel, if you know me, you know that Israel, the last Stylebender, Adesanya is my dog. That's my guy. Stylebender is my guy. But in the fight game, one thing is, there's a few fighters in the fight game that have, gone undefeated. But there's one thing that is more undefeated than anything else, especially in the fight game, and that is time. That is time, not even father time, just time. Eventually, it always catches up. And for the very few that are able to avoid it for a period, whether that's taking a break and then coming back at a higher weight class, a la John Jones or GSP, that's the reason why we talk about them in GOAT Convos, or Khabib, who retired on top, and once again, talk about him in GOAT Convos. It always comes. There's always the rise, the glory, the happiness, the definition of an era, and then there's always the fall. And unfortunately, I felt like we were in the midst of the Stylebender's fall. And unfortunately, at UFC 305, I was proven right. As DDP does not ever, it's remarkable. It's like he wins by the ugliest means possible. Not necessarily boring, but just by the ugliest, how did he pull this off? Not that I think he took, you could argue it may have been 2-1. I had it, I was favoring more. Izzy was in control, especially after taking that third round. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know. He's a winner. That's the only thing you can really say about Dricus about this point, is that he's a winner. DDP is a winner. He's a winner. He finds a way, somehow, some way. Izzy foolishly, like he said, gave up his back after getting rocked a little bit, and DDP rear naked choke, and that's all she wrote. Izzy tap. Listen, of all the ways I even saw Izzy getting KO'd before I saw Izzy tap, and I did not see that happening. But DDP gets it done in 4. And like I said, you gotta give hats off. Like Izzy gave the respect. That's the only thing you can do in that situation. I feel you just got to give the respect. DDP was, I'm not saying obviously DDP's greater all time than Izzy, of course, there's something crazy like that. But he's the better fighter now. As much as it pains me to say, like I foresaw, like I told you guys last week, like I said to start this off, time comes for us all. And unfortunately, at 35 years old, with all of the wars that Izzy's been in, I feel like time has simply just come for the last Stylebender. And it's okay. And he looked good, for some of this fight. He looked good. He didn't look, peak Stylebender, but Izzy looked good, right? It wasn't like, obviously El Kakoi right now, but he's not the same fighter. But he still looked respectable. So, I have no problem if he doesn't want to walk off into the sunset yet. He still wants to fight it out, see what he has left. All for that, but I do think we have seen the last of Prime Israel Adesanya. I think besides just age and time, I think and honestly, there's no more fitting fight and no more fitting way, in my opinion, for Izzy's Twilight to come than that win against Poatan. Like, I don't think there's any more fitting to the story of at least the prime version of Izzy. I don't think there's anything more fitting of beating your arch nemesis in that fashion in one of the most iconic moments in mixed martial arts and really just in combat sports history with the storylines and just the way that knockout went down. It's just iconic, It's just iconic, and I think it was the perfect story, kind of end of the story arc, and now we're just kind of in the excess. But I know Izzy would probably appreciate that analogy, but I think we've seen the last of that guy, so to speak. I think he left a part of himself in to win that fight. I think Izzy gave a part of himself that we're not ever going to see back. So, yeah, unfortunate. One of my favorite fighters, but it happens. If you're around the combat sports game, if you're new, some of these guys that have come up and are your favorites, unfortunately, one day it'll start to come down. You just gotta hope it's graceful. And I hope Izzy's fall from the top is graceful and. We have a little bit of a torch passing. But yeah, DDP, subs Izzy, he gets it done. Got to give credit to the middleweight champ, and I guess the champion of Africa as well. Other things that happen on this card. All right, KKF, Kai Kara France. Listen, I said this was going to be, first off, great card, and I was right on the bangers. I actually went 3 for 3. I just thought about that. I actually went perfect on all this. But anyways, KKF, Urkog, brought the fireworks for as long as it lasted. KKF with a knockout, though. Pay him some respect. Pay him some respect, all right? KKF needs his respect. Steve just might be too early. I don't think it's the end, obviously, of Urkog. And again, dude was like literally a takedown away from being champion. So I think he'll be fine. But yeah, KKF shows why he's one of the premier contenders in that division. Dan Hooker. All right, what a transfer. Dan all tatted up now. Crazy transformation. Him and Gamrot, as always, just as expected, as always, put on a banger. All right, so yeah, they came through. Dan gets the split decision win. Super dope moment in between that second round. Him just being like, I loved it. I love that. I love that. I love that. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to the Hangman. He gets it done. Good to see him get a win. Just a cool guy, cool fighter. Hangman always comes through. And yeah, to wrap this thing up, Gyro outclasses Ty. It was never close. I'm not gonna lie to you. Ty was just, it was one of those levels fights in a way. And at a contender's level, it was like a levels fight, which was kind of crazy. But yeah, Gyro, easy work for him. Prates KOs the Leech. I saw, he was putting it on him. All right, he put it on the Leech, looked very impressive. His stock very much so rose after that performance. However, Herbert Burns needs to retire to a life of just being Gilbert Burns' brother, because I don't know if this fight thing is for him. But that was UFC 305. Next time it will be 306. I'm not sure who's headlining. I'm sure you guys can tell me. But yeah, don't know who it is. But unfortunately, yes, the end of the Stylebender era and the new king of Africa. He's South African. He's South African. He's still African. However, ladies and gentlemen, that means it's time for entertainment. And well, no movies though. Deadpool movie went over 1 billion. I think that happened this past week. Or did it happen last week? Or it became like the highest grossing rated R movie, which by the way means Disney has all of the from G to R has the highest grossing movie, which is crazy. But, all hell the mouse. But we did have some television, all right? We do still have some television. Even after, Boys is gone, House of Dragons gone, we still do. Because HBO is just, the printer is back, all right? The printer is back. But before we talk about the HBO side, let's talk about Amazon, okay? Batman Caped Crusader. Solid. Very solid. I see some of the complaints about the animation, and I understand it. It's not the crispiest animation ever, but I think it's still solid. It still kind of sets the world. I think it does that really well. I think the way the villains have been introduced, and I think they've done a really good way of kind of paving that narrative. Of course, every single Batman animated series is going to get compared to the OG, the Batman, the animated series, because of how legendary it is. And by the way, Max is not paying me to say that, but go watch that on Max if you haven't. Again, legendary if you're into comics. It's iconic. It's the staple of, one of the all-time animated shows. So, yeah, but Caped Crusader, I don't know if it's going to be an all-timer, but still very solid. I've enjoyed the watch. Haven't finished it yet. I think I have like 3 episodes left, but like I said, I think it's been very, very solid. I think that 7, 8 I've been seeing for it, I think that fits it really well. But yeah, Batman Caped Crusader. it would get a cosign if I was given cosigns. Industry is back, baby, for season 3, and boy, oh boy, what up. Honestly, I could do, and you know what? Honestly, since football's about to start up and I'll have to go back to like my weird recording stages, I probably will. I probably will do some after watching industry kind of episode reviews. So yeah, but episode 1, very good, baby. Very, very, very good. Eric is on one. All right. Just everybody is crumbling. All right. Everybody's mental state folding. I love it. All right. Industry. One of the best shows. I'm going to say it right now because of the current moment, best show on television. But yeah, one of the best shows on television just overall. But currently, best show on television. Also on Max. Again, not paying me though. Max, if you want me, you know, I'm here. Just in the contract. I'm down. Would love to, you know, join the team, you know, and advertise for you guys. But industry, so good. Go check that out. Kit Harington joined the cast. Very excited about that. His character looks very intriguing. We'll see how he kind of interacts with everybody. But yeah, more good stuff. Music. Talked about a lot. I mean, if you watch the reactions, you kind of caught most of it. Jayon, that album Year on the Way. La Lisa and La Rosalia came due for New Woman, so we talked about that. But Tory, all right, more prison tapes. Once again, has to be built into something. But once again, he goes 2 for 2. He hasn't missed, all right? Tory doesn't really miss very often. But yeah, he hasn't missed on these prison tapes. FMV, which I can't say for, you know, monetization reasons what that means. But FMV, Heat, Featherweight, Heat. He's been following this formula of like, one is like the classic, like, okay, more of like the rapping, you know, trap banger, and then the other one's more of, you know, singing Tory. It's a nice balance, right? It's a nice balance of the 2 packs. But yeah, the prison tapes continue to roll out. I'm wondering what it's building to, like I said. But yeah, more good stuff from Tory, all right? More good stuff from Tory. Now, let's send it over to baseball. Let's send it over. Shohei Ohtani. All right, listen, we haven't talked a lot about Ohtani. Don't worry, the Dodgers are still the Dodgers. And Ohtani is still very much so, even though, you know, I love the boy. All right, I love Aaron Judge. It's my dog. It's my guy. And we're going to talk about him in a few, actually. But Ohtani is still Ohtani. He is still very much so the best player in the world. Okay? He's still very much so the best player in the world. You know, he can't pitch this year, so instead he's going to be 40-40. Just Ohtani things, you know? Just Ohtani things. But yeah, he's up to 39 and 37 after today's game. The Dodgers cooking. Ohtani is on fire, especially of late. But yeah, he's headed to that 40-40 season, which again, it's ridiculous. You have, again, one of the best pitchers. He's one of the best hitters in the planet. One of the best pitchers in the planet. We've said it a million times. Like, this is crazy. He can't pitch this year, so, I'm going to be one of the select few people that ever do 40-40. He might even, I'm not going to say he's going for 50-50. That would be a little bit of a jump, but yeah, 40-40 is definitely in the bag. But Ohtani, very much so still Ohtani, even though we haven't talked about him. By the way, highest batting war season of his career. So yeah, shout out to Shohei for still being Shohei. The Martian has been called back up. However, we won't be able to talk about it until next week. But the Martian is back for the Yankees. Very excited about that. Everybody updated their prospect rankings. And by the way, it looks absolutely stacked. Okay? Prospect pool right now in the MLB. Of course, we have Jackson probably has to graduate out. And I don't know why the Rays have not, even though, fine, sure. As a Yankee fan, sure. Why just leave Camarillo, Junior Camarillo, leave him in Durham, I guess. Don't know why he got sent back down. But yeah, looking absolutely stacked. But yeah, the Martian has been called back up. We saw what he did last year for the Yankees was a big jump. The Yankees have been kind of fluctuating a little bit, you know, post All-Star break. But if Dominguez can get back and be the player that, you know, a lot of people think he can be, that can be a huge, huge lift for the Yankees World Series chances. So yeah, the Martian is back. We'll see how he does tonight. Or I guess last night when you're watching this, you can tell me. But Judge also passed 300 home runs for his career this week. Love that for the captain. You know, again, I don't know how high he'll rank because of his age and when he started as a rookie. I don't know where he'll rank in terms of the accumulation stats, but I find it very hard with what we're seeing right now. He is the best hitter of this era. Simply put, he is the best hitter of this era, and I find it very hard to believe that even if he doesn't reach some of the accumulation stats that others have, or other legendary sluggers, or other legendary hitters or players, I find it very hard I can't see him missing the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? I can't see Aaron Judge with what he's done so far in his career and what he continues to do. I can't see him missing the Hall of Fame. I think it would be a great injustice, and I'm not just saying that as a Yankees fan, but just as a baseball fan. Because it's been a treat. You know, it'd be a treat even if he wasn't on my team, but it's even more of a treat because he is. But Judge passes 300. Really happy for him. Next up, 400. We'll see how long that takes. He's the fastest ever, by the way, by a lot. All right, by a lot in both batting attempts plate appearances, should I say, and in games. Like, not even remotely close. Like, the next person's in the next stratosphere. Okay, so, Judge making more history, still being, the AJ we all know and love. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the Roundup. And listen. I was going to talk about NASCAR this week. I know, because I went to Sundays, we haven't done as much NASCAR. I hear you. But listen, okay? I don't know what they were thinking, okay? I don't know what they're thinking. What you knew it was going to rain all week. Michigan's coming. They don't have lights, and you don't move up. Like, I don't understand that. By the way, NASCAR has been. I mean, they were kind of living in it, right, after what happened last week. Woo! Logano, Hamlin versus Austin Dillon. By the way, very fair penalty. You can keep the win. It's just not going to count to the playoffs. Go back to 32nd, my boy. You want to act like Dale Earnhardt Sr. in his car. So, NASCAR's had all the drama. But, don't know what happened with this Michigan. So, I guess we're going to have to race tomorrow. So, at least I'll get to see that while I'm at work. But, WNBA, all right? Let's talk about the W. AR, Camila, doubled up, all right, versus the Sparks, who, I'm not going to lie, they are sitting firmly in firmly in Paige territory. And I honestly want to see that happen. Even though, I'm going to be honest, the Mystics and who else is struggling? It's somebody else. I'm blanking. But somebody else. It's the Mystics, the Sparks, and somebody else. But I can't. It's not coming to my head right now. I'm not going to dig for it. But, the Dallas Wings. Yeah. And even though, right, Paige and Aaliyah again, or Paige and Satu would be really fun, and Enrique. But like I said earlier, I really want to see Paige, Kim, and Ricky. I just think that would be disgusting in LA. So, they on the way to making that happen. But yeah, AR, she's pretty much doing exactly what she did pre-All-Star / Olympic break. Doing the exact same thing. Okay? More double-doubles. Again, the efficiency offensively, it needs to get better. I can't even really say it needs to be more consistent. It just needs to get better. Her bag needs to get better. But, that'll come over time. But still, Angel, being what Angel is. I will say I was very impressed with what Camila did. She looked very, very dominant. Again, Camila is another player I thought has so much potential. And she's obviously done very, very well. But I feel like she could be better. If just certain things that seemingly haven't necessarily clicked for her. Because like I said, there's nobody more physically gifted than Camila. But she dominated the way I expect her to dominate. They double up versus the Sparks. And more good things perhaps for Chicago. Even McKinney Carter is caught up in some more drama. However, the Caitlin Clark show is fully underway, boys. It is fully. She got a little bit of rest after playing so much basketball, and it's wraps. All right, I watched this game in the full game. No, not just like the highlight, bro. The Indiana Fever are a completely different team from first game Indiana Fever. She is the chosen one. All right, Caitlin Clark has been nothing but generational since we've come back from break. 29-5-10. In a dominant victory versus the Phoenix Mercury, even though the Mercury did come back. But, Caitlin was talking to DT, talking to, Kalia. It was great. It was great. 29-5-10 for there. And then literally today against Seattle, against a team that has dominated. I mean, Jewel Lloyd has been dropping 30 pieces on the Fever's head like it's candy at Halloween. Okay? Murdering them. She was the boogie woman. And the Fever have had a lot of boogie women over the years because they haven't been very good, obviously, with getting Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark. But Jewel Lloyd was almost at the top of that list. But they held her in check and they took out Seattle. All right, largest margin of victory for the Fever all year. A big reason why Caitlin Clark, she had 23-5-9. Though, of course, shout out to Aaliyah Boston. That chemistry's going. She's been great. Lexi Hull went off in this game. It seems like they figured out with Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark and getting that going and letting Kelsey just kind of be the spark plug explorer that she is. So, CC looking very much so like the chosen one. Honestly, I'm going to be real with y'all. And that's part of the reason why I put this in the show today, the Rookie of the Year conversation is over. I'm sorry. I know media. I'm a talking head, so I'm really not supposed to be saying this. I'm supposed to be going along with it, but it's done. All right, the Rookie of the Year race is over. It's over. Okay, the only debate with Caitlin Clark in terms of awards should be whether she should be first team All NBA, WNBA, or second team All WNBA. Like first team All W, second team All W. Like that's the only like debate we need to be having at this point because the Rookie of the Year it should be unanimous. Unanimous. Like it's not even really a discussion anymore. All right. Respectfully, Angels still having a very good, you could even say great rookie season. However, ladies and gentlemen, as I have said many times on this show, there are levels. There are levels to this. Caitlin is at that level. Angel's at this level. There's levels. All right. Rookie of the race is done. It's over. Stop talking about it. All right. Talk about which, all W team Caitlin's going to be on. But yeah, both the rookies hooping like usual. No rust. All right, no rust after break. NFL preseason. Yes, like I said last week, Bears fans, I tried to tell you, he does this every week. Okay, he does this every week, and he's only going to get better. Caleb Williams, Bears have a quarterback, him and Rome already connecting. Boy, do I wish that classic crossover he did it at USC. I love it. And then he breaks away and hits it on the sideline. I wish that had been in, but Rome had no idea where he was. But they'll figure that out. Bears going to be one of the fun teams that I think to watch. However, of course, that was against the third stringers for the Bengals, to be fair. And then Hooker scored his first rushing touchdown, so shout out to the boy from the 336 family friend. What else? All the rookie quarterbacks look well. Penix didn't even play because he looked so well the first game. Daniel Jones did not look well, at least in the first quarter. Played a little bit better, I will say. He played a little bit better rest of the game, but first quarter, a little rough for the Giants. Malik Neighbors, though, is a dog. All the rookies been kind of hooping, so yeah, preseason been fine. My fantasy draft is next week, so I don't have to worry about the injuries that some of y'all have. But yeah, NFL very much so coming up soon. College football is back next week. All right, so welcome back, college football. We will be talking about that. I think this is a really wide open season. I am still horrifically disgusted, and it probably won't be the last time I tell you once again. I hate super conferences. They're stupid, but I can't wait to see how stupid it gets. All right, and I think it's really wide open this year. Because there's no real, I guess we'll see if anybody becomes a dominant player, or, we'll see. It's a lot of we'll sees. I think we lost a lot of the great stars. I think I've said this before, but lost a lot of the great stars. Lost a lot of the, high level figures in the sport, even with Saban retiring. So it feels like a new rebirth for college football, and we'll see what it brings. But yeah, it's good. College football, one of the most wonderful times of the year. So happy that's back, which also means that, college students watching this, welcome back to school. I know they're back in Charlotte right now. So yeah, welcome back. And to end us off, all right, soccer, world football, it's back. The Prem started, La Liga started, all of them started. And Man U started well. Okay, Man U started well. Garnacho missed the harsh. That was real rough, but he did get an assist on that Xerxes. So yeah, Man U started well. Man City started well. They took out Chelsea for like the 11th billionth straight time. Haaland scored in like 14 minutes. He looks like that guy still. All right. Hopefully he can be healthy and, he can get back into that best in the world conversation. But Man City was cooking. Arsenal was cooking. All right. Havertz cooking. Though I don't know. I forget his name. How he didn't get even carded for literally sexually assaulting Gabriel Jesus on the field. Like that was a madness. But yeah, Arsenal starts well. But yeah, Chelsea, not too great. The Mbappe era did begin as well this week in Real Madrid. They won the Supercopa. He scored, because of course he did, in his debut. It looked great. Jude looked like English Zidane. However, today against Mallory, it didn't really come together, of course. I was honestly not surprised. Like, you just know, because all of the hype of, are they just going to butcher La Liga? It's going to take a little bit of time. These things always take a little bit of time. And I'm honestly, first Galacticos it didn't win a Champions League. So, we got to see. We still got to see. Even though they've made sweet, sweet music before, we got to see. All right, we got to see. We got to see the mesh. I saw Mbappe, Roddy, and Vinny all playing left wing at one point today, which is absurd, even though Roddy scored. So, yeah, they got to figure that out. Honestly, I've seen a lot of people having Mbappe as a striker, which I get, and I think him and Vinny just need to work out, because I think their best way of playing through that is having them flow. And it's almost better when Vinny's at striker the majority of the time. I almost feel like I trust him more because I feel like it's just better if Mbappe gets that space and then they just kind of flow. But they got to figure that out over time. And of course, they got Don Carlo and they've got all the talent in the world. So I'm sure Real Madrid will figure it out. But they do draw today after winning the Super Copa. So yeah, not complete dominance for the boys in white. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, it wasn't going to be a 40, 50-minute, episode this week. That's coming. Probably next week, honestly, since college football is back. But, in the summer, hope you had a great one. Mine was transformative. We started this summer in the trenches. We were back home in the 336. Now, new set, new house, new life, and we're back home in the 704. So, hey, what a summer. Hopefully your summer 2024 was pretty good. And yeah, we'll see what the fall brings. Welcome back to school and welcome back to football. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Ocho, signing off.